because we haven't had enough.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, this is it. This is where the film stopped being interesting, and I didn't know or give a shit what was going on anymore, because now it was just a bunch of guys standing around looking like characters from the CDI 90s.
Oh my god.
Zelda games.
Yes. That is uncanny, actually.
They're all standing around going, ha 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 ha. I wonder what's for dinner. But like, oh god, it just the only character from pretty much from this point on that I liked was Molly Groom.
She's
There was
the one that's like
yeah.
ugly one of them.
It was, yeah, and but that's probably why I liked her actually, because she was the least offensive to look at.
I love her reaction to the unicorn as well. She's like, where the fuck have you been? Where were you when I was 10?
Yeah.
I love how bent out of shape she was, because it's like, I am old now, I believed in magical unicorns, and I wanted to meet you, and now you turn up now, when I'm out of my prime.
Her
bitch.
Her realism, like her character is basically saying that look where I live, and all these fucking idiots that I live with. I could have been so much more than this weird forest common law wife. Who I would imagine is passed around these moustached men. I mean, she's the only woman there.
Yeah, I think that bit is probably the bit that for me that stands out the most, and just kind of one of the images that just lingers in my mind. And I don't know, it's just really compelling and powerful. And
I know, and I remember part of it.
Seeing it when I was younger and just being really affected by it, even though I didn't really understand what she meant.
Part of what's good about her character, I think, is that in terms of performance, she's the only voice actor in the film who actually sounds genuine. Not that she's, because there's so much talent involved in the voice acting in this. Jeff Bridges, Christopher Lee, and everyone, but they all maybe not. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe not Christopher Lee, but everyone sounds like they're reading their lines off the page.
There is one other character that I would mention, but we'll come to him when we come to him.
But except Molly Groom, she actually sounds like a person who's talking and believing the things that she's saying.
She seems like a sort of leftover wench from medieval times. Whereas Arkin is a nice chap, but he sounds completely like wrong.
Bored. He sounds bored.
He just doesn't sound like he's. I don't know. I'm not saying any of them phoned it in, but it doesn't quite work. Even though a lot of them dropped a coin down a well. Make a wish. Anyway, like you're right. They're not all entirely correct, are they? I don't know, whatever. But it's kind of redundant, this bit, because they get kidnapped and there might be tension. There isn't, because essentially Schmendrick, it's hard to say. Schmendrick the wizard tries to does an illusion to make them impressed or whatever.
Conjures up Robin Hood.
Yeah, the actual ghost of Robin Hood.
Well, see, I can see what's supposed to be happening here. Is Robin Hood doesn't exist? He's a myth. He's a story.
Unlike unicorns.
Well, that's what I mean. This is happening in a story with unicorns, and they're talking about how Robin Hood is a myth. So there is a comment in there somewhere, or there's supposed to be, about the idea of fantasy and the fact that fantasies and myths and things move on, and certain ones will fade away, and I bet that's in the book.
I mean, it's kind of about skepticism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Generally,
it's not in the film, though, is it?
Sometimes it's a little bit about believers in magic. Like, it's a bit of a crock of shit thing, because basically people who believe in otherworldly things and magic, or well, they exist if you believe in them. It's like, no, they don't. But you can never really argue that, because in order for you to combat that, you have to sort of believe. I don't know. Like,
I mean, in fiction, it doesn't matter because it's fiction. You can do whatever you want. But if you're going to mix them and make comments on them, do it then, instead of just putting suddenly a see-through Robin Hood appears and walks off into the forest, and everyone goes, "Oh yeah." But they go, "Oh yeah, but he's a myth." No, he's not. Yeah, he is. Okay.
Either way, you're free to go. Please take our dinner lady with you. How did we get to all of these extra thug characters are instantly exited from the plot, and one of them ends up like the betangled head
Oh god, and they tie the Smenjik to the tree. I forgot about that.
Wait, have we got to that bit?
Yeah,
Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
just
Why
about
did
to.
they tie him up? God, because he's shown his magical powers.
yeah, and they're like, oh, well, we can't have that. We'll sell him. What? And then they tie him to a tree with massive tits.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this is
To them, it's just a tree. He's the
Oh, as soon as
Messes
they
it up.
tied to that tree, I went, that tree's got tits. Something's going to happen here.
that's one of them rules of life, isn't it?
Whenever I'm, walking through a forest, I'm like, oh, that tree's got tits. Something's going to happen here.
What does happen, Abby? Do you want to describe the scene?
We've mentioned it in passing, but I think we should really hammer it home here that Shrendrik is a terrible wizard.
Not in a
And-
bad. He's not evil. He's bad at magic.
He's incompetent,
Yeah.
completely.
Yes.
And he manages to change a tree into a woman with enormous tits, who is presumably old, but it's hard to tell because it's a tree.
Yeah, well, a lot of trees are old, so the tree is old. Massive tits or something.
She is in love with him and refuses to let him go. She'd rather smother him to death.
In her bosom.
Yes.
And then the unicorn is like, I leave you for 5 minutes, and you tie into a massive titted tree woman. And I'm gonna have
What
to
have
save
you done? Doesn't she say that? Doesn't either her or Molly Grew say, what have you done?
I imagine she says, "What the fuck, bro?"
That comes a bit later when.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, anyway, like we have freaky old titted tree rescue scene happens, and we go, "Well done,
Yeah.
Shrendrik, you're really good at changing things for the worst."
Yeah.
Again, that's okay. I mean, it's creepy as hell.
The scene that scene is trying to make a point about like immortality, a different kind of immortality of like the tree and how like a tree's love will be everlasting. But it is so distracting
It's just
that
yeah,
you
can't
just
think of it.
forget about that.
It's just.
And you just see like giant purple tree with boobs.
It was the worst. That was one of the lowest.
I kind of am regretting reading the book actually, because the book is so full of all the little details that this film
Yeah.
needs, that it kind
like,
of ruins the film even more.
When the tree scene, because I watched. It was the middle of the day. I was in the house by myself while I was watching this, and the tree scene came up, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm glad I'm watching this by myself because I don't want anyone else in the house to see this.
It's not really for children in that. Sometimes it's just a bit smutty, but it's a bit horrible. They've got to show children this. It's bleak as fuck as well. It's so melancholy and sad. Like the tone never really picks up beyond mild hope, but basically it's sad.
It's this mix of too raunchy a joke type for a kids movie, but with a conceit that makes it seem like a kids movie, but a pace that bored me at 31. I can't imagine, a kid sitting through the entire thing. Maybe this is because I'm looking at it now in like 2016. Maybe if I'd seen